This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
1, 2, 3. Lovely.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday, which means... Actually, what does that mean?
It means it's us.
It does it? I don't know. I feel like
us.
I've forgotten something else. Like, it's Thursday, and we do this every Thursday, but now I'm feeling like there's something else I should have done.
Did you blow your nose?
Yes. Anyway, hey, welcome to the Maastricht Edition, everybody.
Hello. We're here. Yay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Maastricht Edition here on a Thursday, as Jason said.
Maybe.
Broadcasting to you live from various different places. Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah,
Very well.
Good.
You're all looking fabulous this evening, if I may say so.
Well, thank you.
You may say so. Thank you, Trace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Flattery will get you everywhere, my dear.
There you go.
I had a shower today and I've got a bra on.
So that.
I
Well,
know.
Very lucky.
so what are you dressed
Very
up for?
important information.
Well, do you know what? I just thought it might make a pleasant change instead of swinging low for the whole week as I have been.
I'm not
Right.
going to sing.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not. I feel like.
Come on, guys. I just handed it to you
There was
on a
some
plate.
interference there.
I mean, you teed it up, and I feel like, no, I'm just going to pass on that one because that's just too easy. Make it harder. No, never mind.
Yes.
Go on. Move on.
Oh, look. Right,
So what's
so
everybody been
we're
up
off
to
to a
this
good
week?
start. What have we been up to this week? I've got to have a think back. The days
I made a face mask.
merge into one.
You
don't-
made a face mask, Matt.
I made two, actually.
A whole two.
Yeah.
Clowns.
Because we have to go on the train at the end of the month. I need a mask. So
Face mask. Okay, got it.
face mask, yeah.
I was like,
And
that's
I made it
wonderful.
out. I made it out of a pair of old boxers and a vacuum bag.
Wow.
Waste not.
Now,
No.
when
Oh,
you
very
say
good.
when you say old boxers,
Yeah.
are these like ones with Kermit the Frog on, or Father Christmas, or something like that? I
No,
mean,
they're just like check pattern.
No, they're like the ones that everybody has: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
the elastic band on it broke, so I thought, what can I do with these? And I thought, oh, face mask.
Oh, I'll just breathe through them.
How very
Well, they're
creative of you.
clean. They're clean, and there's a vacuum bag filter in between the pieces. So
Well,
that's what I read on the internet.
had you not cleaned them, there's a market for that somewhere, I'm sure.
Probably.
Anyway, but we're not going to advertise that on our show, I don't think. Maybe for
Why not?
our premium viewers. We'll throw that out there.
I'm really surprised you're not even wearing it, Matt. Actually, I'd
have
love
not
to
put
see
the
your
elastic
face
on it.
with a pair of boxer shorts on.
I'll go get it. Hang on. It's just over
Oh,
here.
excellent.
Oh, right. Oh, gosh. What have we done? So,
And while Matt's off, I'm going to say hello to Adam,
Hi,
who's
Adam.
joining us.
Hi,
welcome.
Adam. Sam's just joined us as well. Hi, Sam.
Hello,
I
Sam.
haven't seen either of you for ages. I hope you're well. Matt's about to put on his
Underwear.
new homemade, but oh, look at that!
Wow.
Ooh,
Okay,
nice
that's-
boxer shorts, Matt.
That's
Thanks.
all right. Très chic.
yes.
No,
very
no
nice.
one would know that you're breathing through boxer
And my
shorts.
bum used to be. No,
Well, they're clean boxes, obviously.
they are clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I rarely wore these, so it's not so terrible.
Right.
Breathing
Have
through
you-
where my bum used to be. Yeah. Got
Are
it.
you planning to? You're planning to wear these on your way to work and stuff, Matthew, or on public
No, we're
transport?
going to Germany at the end of the month,
Ah, yes.
so I'll wear them on the train. And they're
Indeed,
washable.
yeah, that's really handy. So it's recyclable as well. You can use them over and over. Yeah, Germany is opening the borders. I think 15th of June or so. We're
Yeah,
allowed
indeed.
to cross the border.
Since
So
when are we not allowed to cross the border?
well,
You're allowed to go for essential travel, apparently.
yes.
Since when weren't we allowed to? I've been
Okay.
I've been every single week going across the border.
Well, you live on the border.
Yes,
the di-
exactly.
the
And they haven't
difference.
stopped me once.
Well, let's advertise that here globally, I suppose.
Yes. Well, now it's official. You can really, really go without any worries at all. So it's
Well,
nice.
for
We're also
holidays,
planning a
go
trip
for
to
holidays.
Aachen. Yes.
Yeah, but they're still expecting you to wear a mask in the supermarkets at present, or any shops
Yeah.
for that matter. So, but you're going to look very, very fetching. What you need to do now is have a little tartan outfit to match. Have you made a pair of boxer short masks for Jacob as well?
Yeah. Well, there's 2 of them. They're going to go matching. Be matching.
Oh, how lovely!
Oh, isn't that sweet? And you can giggle away to
My
yourself
boxers
that you are the only ones who are aware that you're sniffing your own boxer shorts.
Yeah,
And who's listening?
one gets the front, and the other gets the. Okay, yeah.
Oh, dearie me.
Cheers.
Yeah, exactly. Let's
These
all
ones are the
drink.
back.
Cheers, people.
Oh yes, that's worthy of a drink. Excellent.
Here's the thing I do want to talk about before we get into the meat of the show here. Is as quarantine and all the restrictions are kind of winding down, I feel like that maybe I'm not alone here. I'm going to have a really hard time going back to normal because going through supermarkets and going through public with the face mask on, you avoid a lot of the small talk that you have to make with folks that you pass or whatever because everyone's sort of avoiding each other. And I got to say, that's kind of nice.
But in my experience of having the last couple of weeks, having ventured out a little bit more to a few other shops, I found the whole thing extremely stressful. I've not enjoyed it at all. For me, there's been too many people, and I couldn't wait to get home. And I class myself as a sociable person, but I tell you what, I have not enjoyed it at all. It's just been just too busy, too much going on, and I just wasn't feeling completely, well, no, maybe not safe, but it's the stress of always being alert and always being aware of your surroundings all the time. For me, that's the problem. You're just continuously like, oh, they're too close. Oh, I'm just reaching for this. No, I can't reach for that. Someone's just come past me, and and no. I've just found the whole thing horrible.
Yeah.
So that's it. I'm going to be a recluse for the rest of my life.
Well, yes, at least for the coming months, I expect. But shopping is definitely a different type of creature these days, isn't it? So, but thank goodness here in Netherlands, at least, online shopping is quite established. So you can do your grocery shopping and everything, or clothing, or beauty products, or whatever you will. So at least that's something. I know over in West Cork in Ireland, they don't really have so many online shopping delivery options. So
have they got internet there?
Yes, they do. They do. And telephone lines and everything. Yeah, electricity and all that. Although
sundials to tell time.
There are parts of the rural countryside where there is no electricity and no mobile phone signals. So there is still...
But you can actually get electricity from potatoes.
Oh, you can.
Hold on.
And
maybe that's a sore point in Ireland.
No. Well,
greetings to Ireland if you're joining.
Indeed, yes.
And we apologize for the woman in the left corner. My God.
Yes, exactly. She's from Essex.
What other nationalities can we offend, Joe? Let's go. Let's go.
Well, if we're going to go alphabetically, what is the first country alphabetically? Actually,
Albania.
You
can't say American because that starts with an M.
I think it's Albania.
Albania.
So, okay.
I don't. Well, I would give it a go of offending.
I'm going to Google it.
I don't know anything to say about them.
Yeah, is this something that we're actually trying to accomplish today?
I told a lie. First alphabetical country is Afghanistan, then Albania.
Oh,
so
let's not even go there. No, right, let's move on. We're going to change the subject completely. Let's talk about our guest that we're getting on this evening.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic segue. Congratulations.
Well done, Joe. And happily, we can share that Joe is wearing a bra this evening, especially in honor of the guest we're having coming on. Matt is also wearing pants, and Jason too, I think.
You think?
Because we have the yeah, I know. let's see. We have the lovely Laurie joining us from Physio and Pilates in Maastricht.
Yeah,
NeJaime, I believe.
Yes, the bendy person.
Which is why you're wearing your over-the-shoulder boulder holder today?
This is why I've got the big guns on.
All right, because
Joe's
about to get bendy. Who are we going to offend now?
Well, actually, yes, it is quite offensive watching me bend over without a bra on, I can tell you.
God.
I
have no control. Good evening to Alex. You joined us just at the right time as I was talking about me doing Pilates without a bra on.
Hello, Alex.
Or the wrong
Try
time.
not to think about that too much. Camelia's in the house as well. Hello, Camelia. Nice
Welcome.
to see you. Hope
Hello,
you're well.
Camelia.
God.
So we're going to be getting bendy later, sometime after the news, which comes on at 7:30. So if you have any questions at all that you want to ask our Pilates and yoga expert, then do send them in, and we shall put them to Laurie when she turns up later on in the show.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
And I'm going to step into the background and turn the show over to you guys. So have fun, guys.
Oh, the pressure. Okay, thank you.
See ya.
Go.
Bye.
Love you. Miss you already.
Kisses. Wish you were here.
No, we praise the Lord that he's here
Oh, we
somewhere.
do.
That he's loitering in the background.
Without
With his
Jason,
dogs.
we wouldn't even have a show, would we? So
No.
it's wonderful. Thank goodness.
But Matt, how's it going in your new pad?
It's good. Everything's almost unpacked. Yesterday, our new bed arrived, number 2, because the first one was broken. Had to return it. So the second bed came yesterday. And it said on it, you can construct this bed in 45 minutes. We're like, oh, great. Okay, let's start now.
Wow.
8:15. I almost
45
missed the start of the sewing bee at 10 o'clock. So that was 2 hours later. That, don't know who put this together and timed it at 45 minutes, but they were a very quick person. So, yeah.
Wow. I see.
But you did it in 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's still pretty good going, I think.
Not
actually.
bad. Not
A whole
bad.
bed.
But the last bit was the most time consuming. You had to put all the slats through this strap, and they didn't quite fit. So you had to wiggle them. It was
Yeah.
Wiggle it just a little bit.
And then all splinters came out. Oh, nightmare. But it's done.
Good.
Awesome.
But all's well in the new pad.
Yeah, it's all good.
Excellent.
Indeed. And I see your beard has grown back a little bit since last week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shaved since I shaved it off.
And the hair is still growing. You've still not been to the hairdresser, I think. Nice. Committing. Impressive.
I would say that is the perfect length of your beard. I think that's...
I tend to agree, Joe.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yes.
Because we've had it shorter, we've had it longer, but I think that's it.
Okay. I will try and keep it trimmed. I hate shaving.
Just for us, obviously.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're the most important women in his life, Joe. I mean, come on.
Well, we are the ones that have to look at it.
So I'm going to say hello to Matt's mother, who's listening.
Oh, is she?
Oh, really?
No, I'm
Hello,
kidding. I
Mrs.
was just
Williams.
commenting on the fact that you said
What a shame.
the most important women in Matt's life.
In Netherlands, I mean.
Yeah,
You
go
can
on,
say
Tracy. Keep going.
I'll just keep digging. Oh, dearie me, dearie me. Sorry, Matt.
I'm not offended. It's fine.
I saw Dave wandering around in the background a little bit earlier. How's his beard coming on?
It's quite impressive, although he is threatening to shave it off at the moment. It's a bone of contention. I know, because it's quite an impressive beard that has been shaped and pointed and has oils and all this kind of stuff. So
Wow.
I know he takes it. I tell you, the world of beards is a serious thing.
It is.
You really need the oil, though, otherwise it's so itchy.
You do?
Oils and scented lathers and stropped
Yes.
razors. And
Oh, for
All
goodness
that
sake.
kind of stuff, honestly. But yes, we're hoping he's going to keep the beard. He might make it slightly shorter, certainly if we're going to get a lot of hot weather in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
I can imagine it's not.
Well, it makes it a bit easier when it
But,
comes to buying birthday presents or Christmas presents for him, because you can just get beard maintenance kits for him.
I've done that last year. So I need to come up with something else. But indeed, there's wonderful, and these barbers out there, and there's a whole selection of products just for one's beard.
You can even go to the hairdressers to have your beard trimmed.
You can, yes,
For
indeed.
like €20, ridiculous.
Or the hot towel shave, I think it's called. They use the old cutthroat razor for very kind of
Oh,
tight.
have you ever had that done, Matt?
Not on my beard, on my neck.
What?
And my
What?
Wait, what?
back
What?
of my
Ooh.
neck.
That was going. Does it make you nervous?
Okay, I got to
Yeah, I
come
don't
back
know.
on screen for this one. What?
Join us. So we're
Matt,
talking about cutthroat razors and beards.
You've had it on the back of your neck. Jason, where have you had it?
Was that towards where have I? Well, hang on.
We're talking about shaving with a proper old-fashioned cutthroat.
Yeah, a strop razor.
There you go.
Yeah. No, that's actually one of the strange thing. So I've lived in Europe for so long that for the folks that are actually watching and haven't figured it out, I'm a Yank.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah,
We try to
we
sort
don't.
of,
We don't. Less the verb, more the adverb. But
Yeah.
so instead of doing American Thanksgiving, I would actually just go to Dublin every year, and I would just do my instead of turkey, do Guinness pie. But there's
Yay!
that makes Tracy happy. But to that end, there's one old-fashioned hairdresser or old-fashioned barbershop I used to go to, and so every year I would treat myself to an old-fashioned shave. And it's like the most in hindsight, you look at it, it's like one of the most relaxing things in the world because there's a towel and they massage your face and everything. But when it's happening, they're scraping off like 12 layers of top skin with a dull lawnmower blade, and then it's just it's agony. It looks great, and then for a few days, it's just ingrown hairs and terrible and just a horrible thing. And you look, you've got spots but that in that aspect,
I thought women were high maintenance.
but the great thing is in that aspect, because of all the spots and everything, you lose maybe like 20 years off your face because you look like a teenager again. And then
because of the spots.
yeah, exactly. And then that's when the romance in your head starts, because you're like, oh man, that was fantastic. I'm gonna go do that again until you do it again the next
Do you
year.
again?
And
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. there
So
we
yes,
go.
I have had that done
Okay.
on my face.
Well, I have to say, you guys, you get off very lightly compared to what us girls have to put ourselves through when it comes
So
to
to
shaving.
speak.
And
Yeah.
don't get me started about the spots. Anyway, Tracy, no, let's ask
Yes.
Matt. Matt,
All right.
Yes.
what have you learned this week that you didn't know last week?
Oh, I learned that the past participle of snow used to be snew. So it snewed yesterday. So I learned.
No, it didn't.
I saw that
no,
as well. It was on the QIL.
It was,
Very
yeah, I love those
nice.
characters.
Yes, me too. It's snoo.
Snewed.
Yes.
Snewed.
Oh,
It was snewing all night.
Yes.
It's very sweet. Yeah, I think it sounds very sweet. Snewed.
It does sound very
Snewed.
sweet.
It's snewed. Now, of
Sounds
course,
like
a snood, as in SNOOD,
something else completely.
something else completely. Matt, do you know what a snood is?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's got
I'm
neat
impressed.
proof, Matthew.
I thought, oh, Tracy, were we just looking at your boobs there? What happened?
Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh, Jason, you missed that one.
No, I didn't.
Jason was bending over his chair and said, let's see me go again.
I'm having some.
You're having
Wow.
trouble there, Trace.
Last week it was Matthew. This week it's me. I'm trying out this new. Let me just use my phone here to balance my my iPad.
But you've got a bra on, Tracy. That's obvious.
I do. Well, I usually do, actually, Joe. Oh, no.
Well,
Okay,
while
thank
you're
you for
sorting
noticing.
that out, a snood, of course,
Yes.
is like a ringed scarf, if you will. And
Yeah.
they were very, very fashionable in the 80s. And I do recall a couple of young men by the name of Nick Kershaw.
There's a tree by the river, there's a hole in the ground.
And Howard
All right.
Joe.
We're gonna get sued.
They liked to snood, and as I was a Nick Kershaw fan, I had my own snood, and I had those gloves, the fingerless gloves that went with the snood.
Oh, I had fingerless gloves as well, but for different reasons. I had bad circulation, so my doctor recommended me to wear them. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, okay.
True
And a very
story.
fashionable back brace.
I was
And a retainer.
in my school down in West Cork. in Paris back in the day, and I would be there like a little Oliver Twist character with my little fingerless gloves in the classroom writing.
Oh,
Yes. Chilblains. Terrible.
oh my goodness! There was me making a fashion statement, and Tracy, she was dying or something. I mean, it's awful.
Yes. It's okay. My hands are good, but it was necessary for the wintertime.
Wow.
You go. You always learn something new on the Maastricht Edition.
You
Ralph.
do.
That's something you didn't know last week that you know this week, Joe.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
But anyway, back to your snood and Nick Kershaw and fingerless gloves.
Yeah, so I wore the snood even though it was extremely hot. And I remember going to a concert of his, and we were all wearing snoods. It was a snood fest. But of course, you're in a concert hall. It's really, really hot, and we've got all these whopping great big snoods around our necks that were all very, very woolly with our matching fingerless gloves. And I think it was probably could have been called the snood plan when it came to losing weight, because at that time I had a very skinny neck.
Didn't David Attenborough did a program on the woolly snood, didn't he?
Did, yeah.
He might have done, actually.
Now, Sam has just messaged us, and she thinks a snood was a lacy-ish hood thing that women wore in the 16th century.
I think she's right. I believe there was a snood that came over the head like a hood. Yes.
But
okay.
But I will say,
I think
Joe,
the neck thing is also a snood.
I will say, more importantly, Joe, Eric joined us and actually asked, how many beard maintenance kits do you need?
Oh.
Well,
I guess that was aimed towards Joe, I'm assuming.
Oh, he's noticed.
Ah.
The menopausal beard.
I think so.
Love you, Joe.
Elena's just said to us about she uses fingerless gloves to practice the piano sometimes when it's cold here in the Netherlands. May I suggest, Elena, that you practice the piano inside your house and not outside? You'll find it a lot warmer.
And you'll step away from the woolly snoods that roam the Wonderland.
Anyway, I tell you what. At this time, if you did want to wear your fingerless gloves and your snood, if you felt like it, it would be a good time to maybe relax a little bit, calm down, take a breather, put your feet up, get zenned out with your snood, because it is time for
This
history.
Man,
that was a bit lackluster, guys.
Doesn't work.
He didn't even say anything.
Oh, good Lord.
He's frozen. He's that excited.
Okay, so today it is Thursday, the 11th of June. Only 2 more weeks and we've got the shortest day of the year, and then that's it. It's Christmas.
You're
In
right.
1742, on this very day, Benjamin Franklin invents the Franklin stove.
The Franklin stove?
The Franklin stove. It was intended to produce more heat and less smoke than your ordinary open fireplace.
Ah, I see.
It didn't do very well, apparently. It didn't sell very well. It was improved by somebody called David Rittenhouse, also known as the circulating stove. Well, there you go. But Benjamin Franklin invented the Franklin stove. And on this day in 1770, Captain James Cook discovers the Great Barrier Reef, which is found off of Australia. Somewhere I would really love to go and scuba dive around.
I've been there, Joe. I've snorkeled.
Did you? I'm a little jealous.
Distant. Yeah, it's one of my most memorable experiences, honestly. I saw a baby shark.
Did you?
Baby shark.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Baby shark.
Put it up. God.
All weekend that's going to be stuck in my head.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Oh, no. Why did you do it? Why?
I did see a baby shark and Claire.
Cool. Well, I've never been, and I do believe if I do go, there's a very good chance that I will just stay underwater and just ask you kindly to send new bottles of oxygen down to me, and I will just stay there forever, because I think I could be very happy there. Even with wrinkly skin, I would be very happy there. On this day in 1892, the Limelight Department, one of the world's first film studios, was established. also in Australia, in Melbourne. And in 1895, Charles Duryea patents a gas-driven car.
Right.
I don't know what else to say about that.
Well,
I don't think it took off, to be fair.
I would guess not.
No.
Is it American
Right.
gas, like British word for gas?
Oh, as in farts. Yes, it was a fart-driven car.
Fart,
So you
okay.
had lots of people just... Well, I don't know how you would actually do that.
You need to eat
That
a
would
lot
take
of
some
beans.
planning, wouldn't it?
That would take some planning.
A lot of beans and a lot of planning. In 1927, Charles Lindbergh was awarded the first Distinguished Flying Cross. And in 1935, on this very day, inventor Edwin Armstrong gives the first public demonstration of FM broadcasting in the US. Now, I would like to actually ask Jason if he would quickly tell us actually what FM broadcasting is.
So we're going to talk about frequency modulation, which is actually what FM stands for. And it's the encoding of information in a carrier wave by varying the instantaneous frequency of that wave. The term in technology is used in both telecommunications and signal processing. Is that what you're looking for?
Excellent. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you very
It's
much.
bloody radio.
Yeah.
That was clear.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
On this day in 1959, the Postmaster General bans D.H. Lawrence's book, Lady Chatterley's Lover. It was overruled by the US Court of Appeals in 1960.
If you
Now,
read that
I've
book
not read
now,
this
it's
book.
very tame.
Sorry, Matt?
If you read it now, it's not that racy.
No, of course not. Of course not.
But
So you've read it?
I've read it, yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen the TV adaptations of it.
I'm ashamed to say I've neither read nor seen the TV show.
There's one adaptation that's got Sean Bean in it, which was rather
Oh,
tasty.
right.
Did he die?
Be like him.
Oh, yeah.
No, he dies in Game of Thrones, though.
And every other film he's in. So I'm wondering if he died in the film adaptation of Lady Chatterley's.
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. Odd.
I think I saw a version where the guy who played Robb Stark in Game of Thrones is the love interest in Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Oh, really?
I can't remember the actor's name. Also much more attractive than Sean
6
Bean.
degrees of separation, you see. In 1962, on this very day, brothers John and Clarence Anglin and fellow inmate Frank Morris escaped from Alcatraz, the island prison. And they were the only ones ever to do so. Now, the thing is, the film that came out about this in 1979 was almost accurate. They appeared to be very successful, as in they escaped and lived happily ever after, but that was never actually proved. The raft that they were supposed to have escaped on was never found, and they were never caught, of course. So we don't actually know whether they survived or not.
Oh, I could have sunk.
Could have sunk.
But it is a fantastic film. Clint Eastwood.
It is a good film.
Yeah.
It is a good film. In 1966, on this very day, French and German media mistakenly report the death of Roger Daltrey. Now, this has happened on several occasions with celebrities over the years. I have to say, I think that must be very, very distressing for friends and family of said celebrities.
Yes, indeed.
It must be
And
awful.
the celebrity themselves are like, what? I'm dead? Huh?
Yeah, indeed.
Well, I think for them, maybe for a split second.
Monty Python.
1978, on this very day, Krista Tibus of London sets a record of 24 and a half hours of hula hooping.
Oh.
24 and a half hours. Tracy, are you any good at hula hooping?
I have done hula hooping, and actually I wasn't that bad.
Huh?
It's all about the waist, you know. You gotta commit. I had a hula hoop.
Is that how you do it, Tracy? You just sort of...
Yeah, I know. I've got... Well, let's ask Laurie later. Maybe she's got a better technique.
Just a little sway motion, and that's it. You could do that for 24 and a half hours. Oh, my
But
goodness.
that's quite impressive, actually, 24 and a half.
Yeah.
That's without sleep. Or did he sleep in between?
No, I didn't get those details, I'm afraid.
Oh, right. Never
So, look,
mind.
she's at it again. Here we go. Yay. Go on, keep going, Trace. Go on. There we go. Yay! In 1993, on the 11th of June, Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum, opens and sets box office records of $502 million.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it? I remember going to the cinema, and I was actually very excited because it for its time it was actually really, really good CGI and so on and so forth. And I'd love to be around with the dinosaurs. If I could go back in time and just sit in a tree watching the dinosaurs, I mean, I would find that very, very exciting. So for me, I like the film. I do. I like the film. It's not the best film, but it works for me. I get very excited about dinosaurs. What can I tell you? Now, what do you eat when you go to the cinema, Tracy?
Oh, I'm a salt popcorn girl.
Oh,
Matt?
Oh,
Not the sweet stuff.
The caramel one.
No. Salt popcorn, or if I'm feeling extra saucy, I'll have nachos with the melted cheese on top.
Okay, well, if
I
you
know
have been
someone who
around
mixes them.
Sorry, Matt?
I know someone who mixes them, like the sweet and the salt in the same.
Ooh, no.
Ooh, that's strange.
That should be made illegal. Now, if you were around on this day in 1994 and you happened to be in Jacksonville, Florida, you would have come across the largest popcorn container in the world. It was 12 meters long, 8 meters wide, and 2.5 meters high. And it was 187.5 cubic meters of popcorn.
I think I could fit in that bucket.
I think you could. You'd have to be watching a very, very long film to get through that lot.
I know, yes. Indeed.
What
Or
could
doing a trip. Lord of the Rings goes on for quite a while, and there's quite a number of them. You could watch those back to back.
There's one you watched recently, wasn't there? Was it The Irishman that was?
Oh,
quite
bloody
long?
hell! Yeah, that was really long. I was
And what's the one with the blue
expecting so
people?
much. Avatar.
Smurfs.
No, Smurfs. But I think it's Avatar. That's quite good, actually.
But
The
that went on
Irishman
for
was
days,
quite-
didn't it?
Yeah, it's long enough for a kind of animated movie, I suppose.
But we need a long film for that amount of popcorn.
Yes.
In 2009, a Texan mother was hit by lightning while standing in her kitchen in her Texas home. Witnesses say lightning came through a light fixture, struck her chest, exited her foot, and she survived after 3 days in hospital.
She was shocked.
It is all rather shocking. And finally, on this day last year, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced his plans to ban single-use plastics by 2021.
Oh,
Very good.
Let's hope he achieves it. Birthdays. Who was born on this day? In 1910, Jacques Cousteau, the French oceanic explorer, was born on this day. Gene Wilder, the wonderful American actor, famous for Blazing Saddles and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, was born in 1933. In 1959, the wonderful Hugh Laurie was born. He celebrated his birthday today, the English actor and musician.
I love you, Hugh.
I love Hugh more. And in 1969, here's one for you, Tracy. Peter Dinklage.
Yes. From Game of Thrones.
From Game of Thrones. There you go. He's celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
everyone.
birthday.
Lovely people. And anybody else who's celebrating a birthday today. Hope you're having a very, very nice day, whatever it is. And in fact, I think what we could do is we could celebrate everybody's birthday by giving them a banana.
Why
Well, we
not?
could.
It's a lovely gift.
Oh, that should probably be on screen for this.
Well,
Yeah.
it just so happens that I have a banana here.
And a fine-looking banana it is too.
Bigger questions. Bigger questions. Why do you have a banana right there?
Well, I have an excess of bananas, and I'm finding them all over the house at the moment.
That raises further questions.
Carry on, ask them. No, ask them.
No.
Ask them.
I'm leaving it up to the imagination on this one. Why you have an excess of bananas just?
Oh, well, look, okay. Well, look, I have so many bananas. I don't need this one. I think it could be classed as a birthday banana. So maybe I could pass it to somebody who could give it to somebody who's also having a birthday. I don't know who. Matt, maybe.
Matt can take it.
Matt, could you take this?
Yeah. Oh, look, there it is. Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely. Look at the curve.
You like it?
Yeah.
But it's
Jason,
not your
do you wanna
birthday, is it?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
it's not my birthday.
Hand me a curvy banana.
look? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that went better than in rehearsal. Oh yeah, I like that. Are you calling me?
I am. I think. Would you enjoy a curvy banana in your frame?
Well, I'm open for it. Absolutely.
Well, that's.
The
I'm just
bendier, the
gonna
better.
leave it there. Hey, have a banana.
I'm saying, oh wow, well look at this. My goodness, banana seems to
very brown.
I know he seems to have disintegrated a bit.
I love that the
Right.
people joining us now, that this is the quality content that we're offering. We had an idea and we're like, what would
This
be
is
really
why-
wonderful in
watch.
this show?
This is why
Let-
you tune in.
we're going to pass a banana. This is what people tune in for.
But the problem is now, though, I mean, that
It's great
started off
fun
as
to talk into.
it started off as a birthday banana that you could give to somebody for their birthday. But the thing is, Tracy, that is so brown. I think it's only good for banana
know.
bread now.
I think it's because look, one bit's still yellow, but the rest has gone all a bit. I think it's because it's traveling through time.
Hashtag banana love. Let's just, it's all fine.
I don't think you should use hashtag banana love. But
I think you
anyway.
should. And I would encourage our listeners to do hashtag Maastricht Edition, hashtag banana love. Let's see where that gets
Adam's
us.
loving the banana. He said he came for the talk and he stayed for the bananas.
Who's that?
Adam.
Yeah,
Adam. Good job, man. We like your style.
that's how you get in trouble
here's
at Crazy
something else
Horse.
that he could. There's something else he could stay for because I think it's time for the news, Tracy.
How do you,
right.
how do you
Oh,
follow
crumbs.
that up?
I don't know. Guys, thanks.
And after the news, we're going to be speaking to Laurie. So stay tuned, everybody. But it's now
Okay.
time for Tracy and the news.
Every week. Good evening, everyone. It's June 11th, and you're listening to the Maastricht Edition on Facebook Live. First, a look at your weekend weather, and we are in for a lot of sunshine in the coming days, with temperatures set to hit 28 degrees across Limburg. There is a risk of thunderstorms on Saturday, however. Moving to your news bulletin for tonight. President Donald Trump has ruled out renaming U.S. military bases that are named after Confederate leaders. This comes even after NASCAR has planned to ban the Confederate flag from its races. Statues of Confederate leaders and the explorer Christopher Columbus have been torn down in the U.S. as pressure grows on authorities to remove monuments connected to slavery and colonialism. Statues have also been removed in parts of the U.K. and Belgium in the recent days. In other news, Brussels has set out plans to reopen the EU's international borders. The European Commission recommended that the 27 EU members fully reopen their frontiers on June 15th. And police in Italy have retrieved a Banksy work commemorating the victims of the November 2015 terror attacks in Paris. The artwork was stolen from the Bataclan concert hall. The image of a girl in mourning had been painted on one of the emergency doors of the Parisian venue where 90 people were killed. Moving to local news, and as of June 18th, Flixbus will resume its timetable in Limburg, with buses initially going to destinations in Belgium, Germany, and France. Other destinations will be added gradually. Flixbus will use various hygiene and safety measures, with buses being disinfected after every journey and entry and exit only allowed via the back door. It will be mandatory for travellers to wear a face mask. And Maastricht is one of 10 cities in the Netherlands taking part in the Dutch national cannabis experiment. The government wishes to initiate an experiment involving the cultivation of cannabis for recreational use. During the experiment, legally produced cannabis will be sold in coffee shops. No more than 10 growers will produce the cannabis, and the growers will be designated by the government. And Servais Tielman, chef and owner of Beluga Loves You, plans to open a second restaurant in Maastricht in July. The new spot will be on the Spoorweglaan, just across from Maastricht Central Station, and will serve breakfast, lunch and dinner. The menu is set to be a combination of comfort food and street food. And finally tonight, China has announced that it has removed pangolin scales from its official list of traditional medicines. The pangolin is the world's most heavily trafficked mammal. The Worldwide Fund for Nature has said it strongly welcomes China's move to upgrade protections for this endangered animal. And that's it for tonight. For more local news, you can follow the RTV Maastricht News in English Facebook page and Instagram pages. If you are a local business, be sure to check out the Support Your Local Business South Limburg Facebook page, a joint initiative between #Maastricht and the Maastricht Edition. And don't forget that you can always find us on the Maastricht Edition Facebook page and follow us on Instagram. For all the details, check out the maastrichtedition.nl.
Yay! Nice one, Trace.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
That's good news about the pangolins.
Isn't it great news? Really, really good. So it's largely coming because of the coronavirus and the eating of animals, etc. But in any case, really important move forward, I think. So fingers crossed it won't be the first animal that's removed from that list of traditional medicine in China.
Fantastic. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's probably time that we had a little chat with Laurie, actually.
Yeah. Indeed. I'm ready for my...
Ringing her at the moment.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully
she's going to be coming through to join us. So this is Laurie, the Pilates and yoga expert. She there was something else
physio.
As well.
Physio,
that was it. Yeah. So anything to do with bending your body into various different shapes. Uncomfortably in my experience, but
yeah, Laurie, she's really into your body is your temple kind of thing. So it's all about keeping that spine good, sitting up straight, things that your grandmother probably used to tell you.
In fact, here she is to tell us all about it.
I see.
Oh, there she is. Hello, Laurie.
Hi, Laurie.
Hey, you guys. How's it going?
Good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Hey,
You're all
Laurie,
survived, Brian. I'm sorry.
I was going to tell you to tilt your camera down, but you already did it. Hey, we got to be able to see you.
Oh, I did.
There we go. Good to go.
Gorgeous.
Okay. Is that better? That's okay.
Fantastic. You just finished a class, I believe.
I did. Can you see? I prepared. Really, I got dressed up for the. Excuse me. Can you stop, please? Okay. Thank you. Go.
So you'll be wearing a bra then, Laurie?
I do. Excuse me. You can't see.
It's like Pilates 101, Joe. Wear a bra. Check.
Yes.
Otherwise, these really could get out of hand.
Well, you might get a black eye. You never know.
God.
So Laurie, how's things been going for you through all this lockdown scenario then? Because if anything, things like yoga and Pilates and physio, very, very close, sweaty, hot kind of germ flying around scenarios, I think, really. That's the kind of situation
you make it sound
normally
so
have.
inviting.
Yeah. So you've been doing a lot of this online, I believe.
Well, actually, during the corona, obviously we couldn't do anything. We were closed from March 11th. And then on May 11th, I was able to open up for just personal trainings and for physiotherapy. And then on July 1st, we're able to open up for group lessons. But the situation now at hand is you're only allowed, people have to be 1.5 meters apart. So I have to restructure everything because you can't have 10 people in a class anymore.
Right.
And then you need to have a ventilation system. So I started I do Pilates in the park. So people are outside.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I think at this point, in the beginning, it was very good to at least have some type of method to continue training with the clients online. But I also think now at this point, they're kind of I see that the attendance they're kind of getting tired of it. You know what I mean? And they want to do, because I think people are just getting tired of staying inside. They want to get outside. They want to see people. They want to see people. They want to, do Pilates or do yoga with other people. Even though you're online, it's just not the same thing, So the group I do outside, I get like 17 people and it's nice and everybody's happy to work out with another live human, so it's good. And the physio.
Oh, have we lost Laurie?
Let's just see.
Looks
But
like
it's
it.
very, yeah.
I think she's frozen. We may have lost her.
Have any of you guys done any exercise in the park?
I've not done the Pilates in the park with Laurie. Years ago, I used to do it. So when I was living in Portugal, I used to do it outside there. And I found it much more fun than doing it inside.
What did
Yeah,
you do?
Pilates is very nice. I believe actually Laurie has a session coming up this coming Sunday, June 14th, in fact. So when we get her back, she can tell us a little bit more about it. But indeed, there's also that element of when you're outside in nature and fresh air, that it maybe, even has more benefit, I would imagine, than on your bedroom floor or on your mat.
Yeah. I've seen lots of people doing the classes in the park, but like they end up sharing these like, I don't know, props like the medicine ball, and then they share it, and I'm like, how does this work?
Back now.
Oh, there you are.
There she is.
Technology.
Sorry about that.
Well, we're relying on technology here, and it isn't always in our favour. But we were talking while we lost you there briefly about our own experiences of doing either yoga or Pilates outside. And I was saying, personally, I found it much more enjoyable doing it outside than being stuck inside. And we've actually had a message from Sam here who said that she joined you for Pilates in the park, and it was wonderful fun.
Sam, yeah, I call her Sam. I am. Yes, she's wonderful. She's fun, but it's also, I have an elderly population, and there's people who don't like to do it outside in the park, and it's too hard for them because it's uneven terrain. It's not like a flat floor, so you got to try to work with each population group. So yeah, but it's great. I love it, and it's nice to lay on the grass and look up at the blue sky and the green trees, and you're exercising, and you're out, and you get fresh air, and everybody's happy. And I think it's the element of both. It makes it even more enjoyable. So, but yeah. Do you guys want to come and try the lesson out?
Matt?
Yeah, I was just telling the guys, I believe you have Pilates yoga in the park this coming Sunday, right? The 14th of June?
Yep. So we have it every Sunday. We're going to have it every Sunday until can no longer have it. So even when the studio does open for group lessons, we'll continue having it outside because I just think it's really nice. And plus, there's a little symbolism. Mm-hmm. The angel of Maastricht is in the plane there. And so, I know, see? I know, a little bit of Maastricht trivia there. So when they redid the Skarnerweg in that roundabout, she's the statue there. So
and is she doing the downward dog?
No, she stayed on the upward dog.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
I think if she went down, she'd be cracked.
Yeah, that's
just like most of us.
That's no good. No good for the back. No good for the spine.
I feel
no
the
good
pain.
for the back. No, not good. Difficulty coming back up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, during the lockdown, I think a lot of people have been exercising a lot more and finding this is actually a way to get through the last few months, not physically, but just mentally as well.
Yeah, I think, I just heard the other day on the, I don't know what I was on the radio, as a matter of fact, that this app called, and I'm advertising for them, it was called Mind Intuition or something, like in the Netherlands, like when all over the world during the coronavirus or the lockdown. But I think what happened during that time is in the beginning, people got really, were really scared, and then in the middle, they kind of got like, okay, let me just like take, I have time out. I have time to relax. I have time to think about what I want to do. And then I think they kind of, and I'm not a very like new agey kind of person, but I think it was kind of like, okay, let me connect here, like I can take time, I can chill out, I can start to exercise. I can start to, if you want to meditate or do whatever. And I do think that got a lot of people through, because there was a lot of mental health issues. And when we're not moving, just even walking to work or just getting out or, seeing people, that's very difficult. And so you have to motivate yourself. And I think people realize their own strength of their mind and how it goes. You know what I mean? Because you really have to be like, at one point I was like, okay, you have to keep on going, but there's also days where you just chill out and don't do anything and stay in your pajamas. And, I think now.
But motivation is the key to all exercise though, isn't it, Laurie?
Yeah, what I tell people, Joe, I say it's like you have a mental warfare in your head.
Yeah.
You have a yes side and a no side. And it's who you let win. A lot of times the no side is going to get there, but you got to overcome with the yes side. And the most important thing is that whatever you do, you have to like it. And you have to just kind of think, okay, I'm going to feel good after I do it, because sometimes you don't want to get up and do it. Yeah. It's just, not unless it's just a different lifestyle. It's just constantly you're exercising as a daily habit. But in order to start and to get going, you have to, it's got to come from within, but it takes time.
But you've also got to find something that you enjoy doing, haven't you? Because
100%.
This idea of, I'll join a gym, and then you get to the gym and you're like, well, there's nothing here that I like doing. It's very repetitive. I feel defeated as soon as I get on a treadmill, But I think with things like, in my experience anyway, group activities like Pilates or yoga, you don't have to push yourself too much. It's not too strenuous. You can do it at your own pace. And I think actually it's a nice, gentle way to maybe ease yourself into other forms of exercise if you just want to get out there and try something new.
Yeah, I also think, because my studio, I like to look at it as more like a boutique studio. It's, and I try to keep it individualized. And I think from the feedback that I have gotten, it's not a big gym. It's just small, and people feel less intimidated.
Yeah.
If whatever the situation might be, they don't want to go to a big gym. They haven't exercised in a long time. And then, they might have injuries. And because it's a smaller class, I have the clinical experience as a physio, so they feel a bit more reassured, But I definitely think when you start to exercise again, that there has to be an element of security, because you're in a vulnerable position. Because you're like, I haven't exercised, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, I've been eating, I've been doing this. So you have to be in a comfortable atmosphere.
Well, if people want to come and get comfortable with you, Laurie, how do they get in contact with you?
I'm sorry. They can come get comfortable anytime, especially here I'm home.
But if they want to join you in the park or in the studio at some point, how do they find you?
If they want to come to the park, they can either go to physiopilates.nl, my website, and send me an email, or to Facebook, NeJaime Fysio Pilates, or Instagram. But a lot of times I just tell people, if you want to come to Pilates in the park on a Sunday, the first lesson is free. Just come, bring a fan, bring your mat, and we just have a nice time. And
we could bring a mat. We have
a mat. Yes.
We have a mat.
Do you guys live in Maastricht?
Unfortunately not, no.
No.
See?
This is all on Tracy.
I do, and I do actually do Pilates at home, just kind of in my bedroom, if you like. So it's not totally unnew for me, but it's a wonderful discipline. I love both Pilates and yoga, actually. And I know the weather is going to be fabulous this Sunday, so you never know.
And it's both. It's like you get two for the price of one.
There you go.
But you have to be careful with online stuff, because I have a lot of people who come to physio, and this was the only downfall, is because they did a lot of stuff online, and then they did it incorrectly, and then they hurt themselves.
Okay. Until now, touch wood. Okay, but you never know. I might see you on Sunday, Laurie.
Sam Welly comes all the time.
Excellent stuff. Well, Laurie, it's been lovely to see you. Good to hear that you're fit and well, and the business is still doing well. We'll make sure that all of your details are on our Instagram and Facebook page after the show. And we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you. And I'm really happy you guys are doing well. And you managed to survive. And you're all doing good. Okay?
We survived.
We're all here. We're all
Great.
here.
Thanks
Thanks
again.
ever so much, Laurie. Good to
Have
see
a
you.
nice one.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
There we are.
Oh,
thank
such a
you,
nice
Laurie.
lady.
Thank you, Laurie, very much for joining us.
Yes,
Now
absolutely.
I feel terrible about my health. I have done nothing during quarantine.
Really? I took up jogging again and everything during quarantine. Honestly.
taken up a lot
Walking,
of
jogging,
eating,
Pilates.
Drinking.
I just miss going to the swimming pool, though. That's the only downside. I love my weekly swim, but unfortunately, that's not yet allowed. So, yeah.
I don't like
I've been
public
doing
swimming
Joe
pools.
Wicks videos. Do you know Joe Wicks?
Oh, yes.
No, I don't.
Been doing his video. You'd like him.
You don't know
Tracy.
Joe Wicks?
No, I don't know. Oh, my goodness, no.
Can you not know Joe Wicks?
He's a very British thing.
I don't know.
Explain. Explain.
Oh, he's
What
he's a
is he?
guy who does like loads of
A personal
exercise.
trainer?
They're, like, really short.
He's like the exercise guy in the UK. these
I know
days.
John Wick, but that's the movie, Keanu Reeves.
He's an
Different.
assassin, I believe. He's
Yeah.
not going to do your back much good if you're trying to get into
No,
shape.
but
He'll
he's
just shoot you.
I don't know. Physical
He's very hot and he
instruction,
likes dogs,
assassin.
so
It's
he's
all the
good
same
to
to
me.
me. I don't know.
Yeah. I do have a question
Excellent.
for you, though, Tracy.
Yes.
What did you learn this week that you didn't know last week?
Well, I learned that the widest beach in Europe is here in the Netherlands.
Oh.
Really?
I know. So as you guys know, I'm into photography and wildlife, and we were
Yes.
investigating options in the country to go and maybe observe some little birdies and animals and things. And we came upon, of course, the Wadden Islands up in the north of the country. And they have an island, and excuse my pronunciation, called the Schiermonnikoog. My goodness.
Excused.
And apparently, yes, it has the
Gesundheit.
widest beach in Europe, which I found was quite interesting. And I was thinking, well, very exciting. So if we do get up to the kind of Friesland, Wadden Island area, we can take a stroll along the strand and check out
It's
the
gonna
bird
take
life.
a long
and so on.
time if it's that wide.
Well, it's quite wide. It's 1 kilometer wide.
Oh.
So apparently the beach has also been one of the cleanest beaches in the Netherlands, and it's part of the North Sea archipelago off the coast of Netherlands, Germany, and Denmark.
Yeah.
And the islands chained their mud flats, beaches, and rolling hills protect animals like birds, seals, and native horses. So that's
Well,
what I
that's
learned
the
this
thing.
week. There
I
you
gotta
go.
say, I gotta say, some
And
people
it's
like.
a UNESCO.
Yeah, some people like a really wide beach, and some people just prefer a really lengthy beach. I think it's wonderful
There
either
you
way. Yeah. Enjoy the beach you like.
Enjoy the beach you like.
Yeah.
I just
There's-
like any
Very
beach at the
wise
moment.
woman. No,
Any
I
beach
miss
at all.
the sea.
Please,
I miss the
any
ocean.
beach. Oh, to put my feet in the sea and paddle and go for a
I
swim
know.
and
I do miss that, I must admit. So
I put
it's,
my bra on for that.
Would you? Well, I hope you would, dear. Yeah, it might be handy.
Well, it's a celebration. Wow.
Depends on.
So Matt,
Depends on the
Yes.
beach.
I think it's time for you to go Dutch.
I can do. I have 1 minute.
No, you don't.
No, take your time, because I still have 2 very important shout-outs to do.
Oh.
Okay.
I haven't
we're
got anywhere
gonna
to be.
run
You must
over.
just carry on.
Well, it just
Yeah,
so happens, Tracy, that I also looked at the Wadden Islands this week. because I thought,
Freaky.
not again. I thought that like we can go places towards the end of the month,
Yes.
or even if you have a car at the moment, you can go places. So I thought, well, lots of people at the moment don't want to leave the country. They want the safety of being in the country that's not going to close the borders or anything. So maybe lots of people at the moment are going to go on staycations within the Netherlands, and there's lots of different places to go. So I thought, I'll have a look what the options are, because I only really know about cities. So I thought, where else can we go? And the Wadden Islands are one of the most popular destinations for Dutch travellers, but they're quite not very well known outside the Netherlands. So maybe if you're an expat, it's somewhere quite interesting and different to go explore. But as Tracy said, there are these islands which are in the far north of the Netherlands, like just off Friesland. And you can get to the biggest island, which is Texel, from Den Helder. And there's a 20-minute ferry, and you can go over to this island. And all of these islands are really flat, and there's hardly any traffic allowed on them. So they're sort of like a paradise for cyclists and walkers and nature lovers like Tracy. So it's a good place to go and relax and get away from the modern life, I suppose, especially if you live in Eindhoven or the middle of Maastricht and you want some peace and quiet to get away from people and enjoy some time on the beach. So I was doing some research about these different islands. So there's Texel, Vlieland, Terschelling, Ameland, and Schiermonnikoog.
Oh,
What that means.
That's that word again, Schiermonnikoog.
So there's 5 of them, and the easiest one to get to from Maastricht or Eindhoven is Texel. So you just get the train up to Den Helder, and then you get the ferry for 20 minutes, and it's just 250 euros if you want to go across on your bike or on foot. But if you want to take your car, it costs about 40 euros. So go on.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like a really cool place to go. And I've convinced myself now that I want to go there because it sounds really beautiful. Like these lovely white sand beaches, the pine trees, lighthouses. And finally, they have like food festivals on Texel as well. I don't know if that's going to go ahead.
They do, yes. That's
So yeah, there's lots of things to do on those islands. And I think it's a good place to get away from everything.
Exactly. So after quarantine and isolation from everybody, if you feel like you got to get away from everybody...
Yeah, exactly.
This is
it's
the
like
place
a
to
perfect
go,
place to keep your distance.
Exactly.
Take a banana with you.
Take a banana,
and take your socially distanced banana.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hashtag socially distanced banana.
Indeed.
Are you feeling okay, Matt?
Why?
Jason's played a very nasty joke on you.
Oh, no, I played a nasty joke on all of you.
Oh, I didn't see mine, and I didn't see Tracy's. I only saw Matt.
Well, here's the thing.
I had a suspicion that having seen Matt's, I thought, we must have done it to the other 2 as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I'm harking back to an earlier conversation about famed people having been reported dead in the news. And so I've given you all titles. I've listed all your titles as recently deceased. And so we're going to see where that gets us.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, let's hope my dad's not watching this evening. He might tune in a bit later. This will be quite freaky. I shall look forward to watching back the recording, which other people can also do.
They can.
They certainly can.
That's good, right?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Check that out on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
You can watch
All
back
our
all of
programs
our.
you can find on our Facebook page at any time, and you'll also find them on our YouTube channel as well, where you'll also be finding some extra interviews that you won't actually see on the show.
I was going to call it premium content. It's our premium content. You don't even have to pay for it.
No.
Yeah.
I know.
Free premiums.
Because the stuff that you pay for is going to be on a different site.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's coming.
Yeah, you need to bring your mat for that.
You do. What, our mat or just a regular mat?
Oh, our mat.
Well, I suppose it depends if Matt's available.
Well, that's true.
I'm very busy, incredibly busy.
He's
So much busy.
You look like you're busy.
Yeah, so busy.
Yeah, but if people are paying extra.
Well, maybe. I do work a 4-day week at the moment, so
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So you've got some time.
I do have a bit.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end.
No, wait.
No, Tracy's got something to say.
I take.
Sounds serious.
I've got to do the titty bitties.
I take
Oh,
it
you got
back.
some titty bitties.
I've got 2 very important shout outs. Yes,
Okay.
2 very important shout outs this evening. Local businesses we're supporting, as you know.
Yes.
So, first of all, I wanted to give a shout out to the fabulous, this is great, Holy Bowly. Isn't that the best name ever?
Say that one more time.
Holy Bowly.
And who's Holy Bowly?
Holy Bowly are on the Markt in Maastricht, and they are kind of famous for doing original Hawaiian poke bowls. And
Ooh.
poke bowls, poke actually means to slice or cut in Hawaiian. And it refers to chunks of kind of raw marinated fish, usually tuna, which is tossed over rice and vegetables. And many people see it as the next generation sushi.
So
it's very
good.
fancy.
So good.
Yeah, I love a poke bowl. Now, Holy Bowly are open Wednesday to Sunday for delivery and takeaway. And get this line. So support local, pop by and say aloha.
Oh, very nice.
I prepared that myself. And I have a question for you, Joe.
Yes.
What are you doing next Tuesday?
Nothing.
Nothing, right. Well, next Tuesday, you and I are going to bingo because on Tuesday, 16th of June from 7 till 9 p.m., the lovely folks from Pika Broad Beer, N Square Pop-Up Vintage Store and Mondial Maastricht are organizing a bingo event in English. And it's to support local entrepreneurs and to raise money for a charity. The charity hasn't been announced yet. And it's a fun and exciting event. You can join for $5.95 and you have a chance to win some sustainable products like local honey and beer and vintage clothing and notebooks and dinner coupons, etc., etc. So very exciting.
Yeah.
If you like
I'm all over that. Bingo.
I'm thinking team event, guys. So we'll post the Facebook link on our Instagram and Facebook page after the show. And if you want to sign up and buy a ticket and participate, you'd be supporting a great local cause.
Sounds brilliant.
Now, why did you invite Joe and not Matt? Or
well, she was kind of looking right at me, so I just went for Joe. Jason,
that's my lazy eye.
We're all looking at you. The world is looking at you.
I know it's quite terrifying, actually. Jason, Matt, what are you doing next Tuesday? Shall we do bingo night? Oh no! Oh dear!
Does it say we have to bring a mat?
No. Well, no, we don't have to bring Matt.
Do you have to bring a Jason?
Too late.
No.
No.
I have to tell you about the one thing I heard about the Holy Bowly is they actually opened during lockdown.
That's right.
Oh.
They opened with quarantine, bless them.
Yeah, and they're doing very well.
They are. The thing is, it's quality ingredients, very healthy, and let's face it, poke bowls are cool.
Yeah. Hashtag poke bowls are cool.
I like the poke myself. It's true.
Add a little hokey to mine. Enjoy a little hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey. At the Holy Bowly.
You do the hokey pokey and you turn around.
And now
that's
we end the show because oh God, I'm sorry.
We have to go and visit them now and sing that to them. They will be so impressed.
Delighted, aren't they?
Do you want a band for life? Is that's anyway? I'm sorry I even mentioned it. But I will say on that note, that's pretty much the high note of the show there. Aside from our guest Lori.
It's been a show of bananas and pokies and bendies and
banana
well, apparently bendies. We're all dead. So it's all good.
Recently deceased.
Fabulous.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us.
Well.
It's been lovely to have you all on board.
Indeed.
We will be back again next week. Matt, who have we got on the show next week?
Next week we are joined by Lucy from Meet Maastricht.
Hey!
Fantastic.
Hey.
Lovely Lucy, who runs tours around Maastricht. Very interesting tours.
And on a bike at the moment.
She's on a bike. Well, that's very
This is a very interesting lady, actually. So, guys, tune in next week. This is going to be a good show. Yeah,
it'll be very good. She's always got lots of interesting titty bitties for us, actually.
She does.
So, have a lovely week, whatever it is that you're doing. Have a lovely weekend. Maybe filled with more isolation, possibly a bit of bingo if you fancy it.
Some bananas,
and
some poke,
and enjoy the lovely weather, whatever it is that you're doing.
Anyway.
See you all next week.
Yeah. Ciao, guys.
Bye.
Aloha.